What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Today's video, I'd like to talk about draft prospect Malik Nabers. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So in today's video, I do want to talk about draft prospect Malik Nabers. Malik Nabers played his college ball at LSU. He plays the wide receiver position. Malik Nabers goes about 6'1", 190 to 195 pounds. He is one of those guys that I think if the Falcons decide to draft a wide receiver in the first round, he could be one of those players that could be available. And I think that the Falcons should definitely strongly consider drafting him. I do believe that he would fit, in this Atlanta Falcons new offense under Zach Robinson. Malik Nabers is one of those guys that mainly played in the slot at LSU. He's mainly a slot receiver. He can play on the outside, but he was a big time playmaker at LSU. Over 1,500 yards receiving last season, about 14 touchdowns for the LSU Tigers. He was like the #1 target for Jaden Daniels, the quarterback at LSU. And Malik Nabers is one of those guys that's a big time playmaker. They used him a lot on deep routes. If you go look at most of his highlights and go look at some of his film, most of his film are deep shots down the field. So I definitely think that he could be one of those guys the Falcons could consider if we look at drafting a wide receiver, because we know we have Drake London, who's a big body wide receiver that can get, run those short and intermediate routes. But Drake London isn't the fastest guy. Malik Nabers would be one of those guys that could be that explosive playmaker down the field as far as stretching the defense. Because he is a guy that runs a 4.4 40. He is one of those guys that's a speedster. And another thing that I noticed a lot about Malik Nabers when I looked at his film and his highlights is he also was a guy that ran a lot of those jet sweep motions. And we know that Sean McVay likes to do a lot of movement prior to the snap. He likes to have guys running in motion. And that was something that LSU did a lot with Malik Nabers, is they had him running in motion a lot to create mismatches and things of that nature, to get him lined up against, the second and third corners, or lined up against a linebacker, or lined up man-to-man against the safety. And we know that in that Sean McVay style offense that we will be running here in Atlanta under Zach Robinson, it has a lot of motions and things of that nature. And being that Malik Nabers is one of those guys that's really fast and shifty, I could definitely see the Falcons possibly targeting him as one of those guys that we could possibly draft in this upcoming 2024 draft. I was really impressed when I seen, his highlights and things of that nature. I did get to catch a couple of LSU games last year, and he was one of those guys that was a big time playmaker for the LSU Tigers. So I definitely think he could be one of those guys that the Falcons decide to go with, or we decide not to draft a quarterback. If we decide to go with a wide receiver, I do think he could be one of those guys that the Falcons could target. I don't think that he's better as an overall wide receiver than Rome Odunze. Right now, Rome Odunze is like my top #1 prospect at that wide receiver position. But Malik Nabers is the top 3 to top 5 wide receiver prospect. But depending on what style offense you're running, some of these teams may have Malik Nabers as their #1 wide receiver in this draft. But I definitely think that he'll be a guy that really could fit with this Atlanta Falcons new scheme under Zach Robinson, because of his ability, to take those jet sweeps, because of his ability to line up in the slot, and because of his ability to go deep. As you guys know, we didn't have a ton of speed wide receivers last year on this Atlanta Falcons roster, and that's something that Malik Nabers does really well, is his ability to get over the top and make plays over the top, whether it's running those over routes, whether it's running those deep posts, or whether it's running those streak patterns where he's just running by or blowing by defenders. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on Malik Nabers. Do you think the Falcons should draft Malik Nabers if we decide to go wide receiver? But I'll have a lot more content coming for you guys. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.